I had a lot of hate for that. For people, it's really frustrating when they don't see views, they don't see reach, they just skip it, they just cancel it. But if you're gonna do that because you love it, in some time, money will come and you're gonna make a business from it. In the category who doesn't like this yellow pages, if you don't watch YouTube, if you don't listen to Spotify, if you don't watch TV, so how I reach you? There is good content in Lithuanian market, not only scandals. I hope that in 1 year, it will be very popular.
Hi everyone and welcome to Kama PR Podcasts. My name is Maria and today we have a very interesting guest with us, Artūras Lebedenko-Swan. Artūrai, thank you so much for coming today. I will introduce you shortly and give a word to you. So Artūras is a serial entrepreneur, if we can say like this. He has many projects in Lithuania and abroad. He's a blogger from Motyvuoti Atletai, and also he is the host of the podcast as well. So Artūrai, thank you so much once again. And
Hello.
Can you please tell a word about yourself to our audience in case they are from abroad and didn't hear about you?
Hello, everyone. So thank you for having me here. Shortly, so I'm a nutritionist and fitness trainer. So I started my business, which is Motyvuoti Atletai. It's motivated athletes in English, 8 years ago. And it was just, a hobby that I filmed what I did in the gym, at home, cooking food and everything, what every fitness enthusiast does. In 2 years, I got very popular in Lithuania. I got a lot of subscribers on YouTube, Facebook, and it became a business. So I finished nutrition and fitness courses, became a trainer, but never trained. So what I did was only internet, like online courses for people, online training. And during this journey, I did a lot of stuff. And today I write articles for Lithuanian portal Delphi about nutrition, sports. Also, I am a host of a podcast, Tap Geresniu, it's to become better. And also have a few other business on the side.
That's so amazing having you today. And I'd like to start with talking about how everything started, because our podcast is about entrepreneurship. And today we will talk about content creation a lot, because, well, that's our sphere too. And we collaborate, we strive to collaborate with bloggers as well. So when did you actually understand that your hobby is not a hobby anymore, but that's a business? And how did you manage to focus on growing your business?
Well, I was working at the watch shop, and I had a normal job from 10 to 7, 8 o'clock in the evening. And I just had time for filming only in the early morning or late evening. So I did that for a few years, just for myself, and I put videos on YouTube, and I never thought that it's going to be a business. But when I taught myself to edit videos, it became very interesting to me. I was watching YouTube from United States, learning how they edit their vlogs, Casey Neistat, and etc. And I tried to implement that into my videos. And then I did that. I saw that I got more reach, more people were watching my videos. And, it just came to me that I can use affiliate, I can sell ads when nobody was selling ads. Maybe we had a few influencers who were very famous, but they were only selling ads on Instagram, like today does every influencer. But at that time, I had like a lot of hate for that, because everybody was hating me that I advertise somebody, But I already started making money from ads at this time. And then I just, thought that if I love this, why I don't quit my normal job and start working for myself, because it works, And I just copied United States with all the blogs, all the I don't know, tasting videos. I did all, these crazy challenges, 10,000 calories, and I got a lot of views here, and it worked. So I think that the most important and the difference in people who make videos and don't make a business of it, and people who make a business of it, is that they start from thinking about how to earn money.
Yeah.
So at the moment, we are with our podcast, we are at the same situation. We are creating podcasts just because we love it. Of course, because I did already that journey before, I know that it will work anyway. We just need time. And sometimes people give up too early. I know there are statistics that I think people who try to make podcasts, they like 90% fail after first 10 episodes. And then from these people who make more episodes after 10, 90% more fail after another 10 episodes. So it's like very little podcasters stay on air after 20 episodes, because it's really, for people, it's really frustrating when they don't see views, they don't see reach, they just skip it, they just cancel it.
Yeah.
And you have to continue to do that, because it's really hard to get to the customer, and it takes time. But if you're gonna do that because you love it, in some time, money will come, and you're gonna make a business from it.
True. That's really inspiring for us as well, because we're just starting our podcast.
Yes, congrats.
Thank you.
Don't stop.
Yeah, that's a good tip. Don't stop at least after first, 20 episodes, right? After 10, to be among those who continued.
And you after 20 episodes, if you will not stop, you're going to get used to it, You're going to get used to routine, to ask people to come to your podcast. You're going to used to the spendings for the podcast, because everything costs. And after that, you're going to know that you have to spend some kind of a money, some kind of energy for the podcast, and you're going to reserve it for the podcast. And you're going to continue to do that. And you're going to find ways to earn money for that, on other businesses. And we want to get companies to market on our podcast. And we know that one day it will come and we will have a lot of advertising on the podcast, because it depends on the views. Yeah. So we need time for the views, and we just need to continue to do that.
It's very interesting. And you started also your blog 8 years ago on YouTube as well. So what's the difference in algorithms and everything? Because as I suppose you were growing organically back then.
Yes. To be honest, I don't like my decision to go silent for 2.5 years, because my YouTube was growing very good, but I had some issues in my life, so I had to, to stop. Like, in actors, like they say, there is a I don't know how it's creative pause, creative holiday. So I had a creative holiday for 2.5 years, and because of that, of course, my algorithms are down, and we don't get the reach we could get, and we need time to refresh our subscribers to see our content, and I know that it will happen, but of course, if we wouldn't do this, break, I know that the podcast would, just go, and everybody would know about it. But at the moment, it's like starting from the ground, So we need time, but at least from the subscribers I have, we get some reach. So in the end of the day, it will go. But of course, at the moment, because there are so many choices and so many podcasts, and we need to invest into the marketing. So we buy some YouTube advertising, and we invest in that too.
That's great that it will grow faster
Yeah,
than organically.
and
There's
it's not
probably
so
no other way.
expensive, it's less expensive than
Instagram,
Facebook or Instagram ads,
true.
really.
And they target better because it's connected with Google,
Yeah.
so they collect the data.
Of course, you can put related videos so they know what kind of a viewer you are reaching, and you can see in the analytics what kind of people are watching it. So you can, differentiate it a little bit. So at the moment, we get like, I guess, not 3 cents, but less. 0.003 per
Oh,
view,
that's
so it's
amazing.
not it's not very expensive.
Yeah. And how do you think, or how do you settle for the success of your podcast? How do you think what's the recipe for the successful podcast, for the successful conversation, and for people to actually like it and watch not only one episode, but to watch you consistently with different guests, with different topics?
Oh my God, that's a good question. I didn't have an answer to that, because we are not there yet, I guess. But I just can guess what I think will work. So I believe that first of all, you have to create for yourself. So if you, like a host, you come to the podcast and you make a podcast what is interesting for you, and you ask interesting questions, not the questions that you think like your audience would like, because then it feels kind of fake. Yeah. But if you ask questions what honestly interests you, and you get the question from the talking what guest talks about, you get another question, you go deeper and deeper, it becomes more interesting, because you get into guest's life. What I try to do, because the podcast is to get better. So I try to get into the guests'
Psychology, mindset.
yes, even psychology, childhoods, like business tips, everything, but to get deeper into it. I don't know the answer, but it's kind of hard to go with such content, because people love comedy, love scandals, and it's easier with that content. If we would do that, I guess our podcast would grow faster. But it's not about me, so I have to create and stay on the line what I love, and to try to
What you believe in.
yeah, to believe in it. So if I will lose myself, it will be not the podcast I wanted to do. So I have to stay me on it, and we'll see.
That's
I hope that in
interesting.
1 year it will be very popular.
Me too.
Thank you.
Yeah. And indeed, I think there is a specific, not even specific audience, there's enough people who are actually rethinking their life, their experience, and they are reflecting on the past, and they want to get better results in life, in business. Well, especially for entrepreneurs who are growing their company, they must to work with themselves, with their character, and they have to go there back to childhood and to rethink something. So that's probably a very good motivated audience.
Yeah, but in Lithuania especially, we had this interesting situation with the audience, and I had the talk with a friend of mine, and she told me that she's not watching podcasts anymore, or she's listening to the podcast, or she's not watching any TV shows. She doesn't even have a TV at home. And I asked why, because there are a lot of good podcasts, and she's like, because it's all the same people every time, like all the stars and all the same scandals. But I was like, do you try to look for a podcast which is interesting for you? Well, but it's all the same. She has like this already, prejudgment of what it will be. And I asked her, so you and your friends are, in other category, in the category who doesn't like this yellow pages, all these scandals. How do I reach you then? if you don't watch YouTube, if you don't listen to Spotify, if you don't watch TV, so how I reach you?
Yeah.
And she didn't have an answer. So that's the problem, because we have this, situation where we have not so many people in Lithuania. It's 2.5 million, yeah, and majority loves these scandals and not serious content.
It's
and
very
these
popular.
people who want serious content, they're like, it's impossible to get to that, and then don't watch and listen. So how do we get to them? That's the question.
That's
And
a good challenge.
yeah, it's a good challenge. So that's what we are trying to do, to change this psychology that there is good content in Lithuanian market. Not only scandals, not only weekly some kind of talks on I don't even call it podcast, because what I see like a podcast from the market I see in United States, UK, Australia, it's a talk between a host and a person, and going deep into kind of topics, and to give a listener some kind of useful information, that's
True.
the podcast. And what we call here in Lithuania podcast is just talking
Talk
about
show.
anything, It's kind of still in growing phase. It's like the same I did 8 years ago when I started YouTube. People were calling vlogs, it's like daily vlog.
Yeah.
So what we imagine is daily vlog. It's like when you start your day on the camera and you film all your day, what you do, what you eat. But 8 years ago, people thought that a vlog, it's also, putting a recipe or, singing to the camera. It's also the vlog. I was like, no, it's not a vlog. It's a recipe, or it's a song, or it's, a podcast, or it's a news. It's different name. Vlog is a vlog. It's a daily vlog. It's showing what you do during the day. Then it's separated, during these years. So I think with the podcast, it's going to separate too, because it's like, there's a TV show, there is a, comedy show, and there's a podcast.
Different
So
genres.
it's different, thing. But now we call every show, it's a podcast.
And also, I'd like to ask you more about yourself as an influencer,
Okay.
because there's so many questions, as you said at the when you just started. You were even hated by the audience, probably, that you, as if to promote somebody or something too much. So how do you actually deal with that nowadays? Because that's hard, I would say, psychologically.
I don't think that people now hate influencers who promote, because now there are influencers who just promote anything and everything, and that's all their content.
Yeah.
I think there are like very big influencers. We have like thousands, hundreds of thousands followers, and there, if you will look at their stories or posts, you're gonna see that 8 of 10 posts are just promotion, and people got used to that, so they don't hate now about this.
Yeah. Now it's different.
Yeah, now it's different. People just know that there are gonna be ads. There are gonna be promotions of some kind of stuff, and it's normal. Back in the day, it was not normal, and people hated that. They called it, like you try to make money on us, Well, and
That's such a sin.
Yeah.
You're trying to make money.
yeah. So, no, so you have to, if you don't want to be a person who makes money, so just delete Instagram and Facebook, because you are
Making money for Instagram,
Yeah,
even
yeah.
for everything you upload.
Yeah, you are a product.
Yeah.
Yeah. So at the moment, I don't see any hate about that. So I don't think that we have to be scared about that. It's part of the job. You just have to do that. That's it.
And do you have any standards, or how do customers reach you, for example? Do you have any standards or any protocol for the projects you would never take, for example?
I try to stay to the products I use or love using. If somebody reaches and tells me that if they want to promote something, I try to see if it goes with the quality or something like that. Some kind of shady things, no. I never promoted any gambling
Mm-hmm.
services. I will try not to, but I understand. Influencers or YouTubers who does that, because these gambling companies, they pay a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And let's say you are a new to YouTube. Yeah, you do some kind of content, let's say podcasts. You invest a lot of money, and to be honest, to film one podcast, it costs about 500 euros. And you invest that, you try to do that every month, do 10 shows, yeah?
Yeah.
And you spend already 5,000 euros. And you see that there are no promotions coming. And then some kind of a betting or gambling, whatever service comes. I don't want to say names, but and they say, okay, we can pay you 2,000 a podcast, because before that, not even one company considered paying you 300 or 400 euros per podcast, because they wanted more views and they didn't want to spend 300 for a no name.
Yeah.
And then a gambling company comes and says, we're going to pay you 1,000, 2,000. What you going to do? Of course, you're going to promote a gambling company because you need money. You want to continue doing podcasts.
Yeah.
And they know that. And they have a lot of money. And lots of people just agree to that. Even if they have some inner belief that it's not good, to play cards, to play casino or whatever. But they want to survive. And all these gambling companies, card casino companies, they know that.
The same as in traditional media, there's always this balance between money, because the newspaper or magazine or news portal, they have to survive somehow. They have
Yes.
to pay people who are creating the content, say valuable, newsworthy, and everything that people. There is information that affect people so much, and they always have to make this decision.
Yeah, it's sometimes it's hard, because of course you don't want to promote playing cards or betting on internet, because people lose a lot of money on that, and it's 99% that you're gonna lose. It's only 1% you're gonna win, and everybody knows that. So of course, maybe it's not a good idea to promote that kind of business. But if there's a question of survival, then of course you're gonna go with that. And it's not only because of that, but let's say we do also this contribute thing, when we ask people just to help us with creation, and to just put their €3 a month. So people don't want to give their €3, even if they go to the coffee shop and they buy a €3 coffee and they don't drink half of it and just throw away. For them, it's not like important. But to help, people who create podcasts, they don't do that. Even friends, So when you see that people only want free stuff, and
Demotivates a little bit.
it not demotivates, but then you think, okay, so if people if they're not helping, we have to somehow to make money, and that's sometimes why you agree to some kind of those promotions.
I think that this Contribui thing or Patreon, that's a really genius, good idea for content creators, because then they can actually be independent and focus on quality.
But people are not maybe understanding that in the end of the day. Because if people, let's say you have like, I don't know, 10,000 subscribers, and half of them who are watching every week your videos would just put €3 a month.
Yeah.
What's it's like one coffee, one black coffee, you would get 15,000 euros a month. I don't think a person or a company who is getting so much money from their subscribers would go with any advertising, because they will understand that if they're going to proceed with non-advertising podcasts, they will get more subscribers, earn more money.
And more trust.
Yeah, and more trust. But when you see that people are not doing that, then you see the podcast with a lot of advertising and promotions, because there's the only one to survive. That's it.
I agree with you, and I also would like to ask about content creation and YouTube. Clearly, when you started 8 years ago, you had a clear plan, a clear strategy how you will reach your goal. And you mentioned that there are two ways to create a strategy: from the content as its goal to create something that you're passionate about, something that inspires you, what is about you, you're creating personal brand and so on. Or you have a product and then you're trying to fit everything behind the product you will sell later. So if somebody would start a podcast, how would you recommend? Which way is, certainly probably the first way is more about you.
Okay, I can tell you
Yeah.
how we are doing this right now. I guess there is no secret, and my partner will not be judging me afterwards. But so the main idea what we are doing right now. So we are filming a podcast. Let's say 4 or 5 podcasts ahead. So we have it ahead, so we can, if something happens or we don't have a guest, we have a podcast already. So we film it and we put it on Contribee. So people who are on Contribee see that 1 week earlier. So that's why how we try to get these Contribee fans who just help us with €3 a month. After 1 week, we put that on Spotify and on YouTube. Also, of course, with all the ads and all the promotions which we sell to our, for businesses or whatever. Then we make a preview in Reels. We make a lot of Reels from the content. So we put that on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on YouTube Shorts. And of course, we put links to the Spotify and YouTube. So we, share it everywhere. So we get people to the YouTube or Spotify. Also, I have a website where I sell, where I have put articles. So I put articles about our YouTube show. So it gets CEO and it's get indexed on Google. If people look for that, they can find it maybe on our website. Also, what we do, we buy some ads on YouTube, so we get more views from people who are not subscribers, who don't know our channel. As we proceeded with our podcasts, I thought, what I did before that, I did a lot of challenges about food, about eating like some kind of, diets of Arnold Schwarzenegger or whatever. And people love that. In Lithuania, I got like few 100,000 views on such videos. So what we did, we are starting to mix serious podcasts with the entertainment videos. So we will do, and we already filmed a few ones, but we will just edit it and put on YouTube. So what we do, we do these blind eating videos where we taste foods blindly and try to guess what is the food. So we're gonna do that content for people who already were subscribing us before for this content. So we don't lose them because of the serious podcast. And with the podcast, we get new viewers who will subscribe to the channel. So we mix a little bit entertainment and podcast. So we get happy the old subscribers and get new subscribers. And also these blind food tasting videos gonna be filmed with girls, with influencers. So we get more attraction from men, also women, because to be honest, everybody knows that a woman on the show, she gets more views. So that's the trick we're gonna do. And also we're gonna do the reels and short videos for those videos too, and promote it on Instagram, Facebook, or whatever. So that's the strategy. What we're gonna do, and what we do. So also, when we earn money from the sponsors, we have the agreement that part of this money we invest into marketing also. So we boost our channel more, because I believe that you have to some kind of money put into the marketing anyways, because just to go organically at this point of view, it's at this point when there's so much content,
True.
it's really hard. 8 years ago when I started, and I was the first one, one of the first ones, it was easier. But at the moment, there are so many creators, so you have to invest in marketing.
That's a really clear strategy.
Yeah.
And
so maybe it will help someone.
Someone, yeah, us too. Thank you. That's I really like the idea of giving the pure content without ads, without anything for people and contribute first. That's great, I think. And also, I'd like to ask you the question: why you started such topic for the podcasting, for getting better every day? Why is it important to you, and why did you choose this one as a starting point?
My slogan was for 8 years, be better than yesterday. And when I was thinking about the name of the show, I thought, a lot of show names. But when I thought, listen, I have this slogan, why don't I use it? And it just happened, And all the time, what I wanted to create was not like a niche thing, because everybody asks me, so what is the niche? I'm like, I don't know, because like in a week, we're going to have a youngest professor in Lithuania who's going to talk about the leadership. And it doesn't go in any way with the sports, with fitness or whatever, what is my topic for 8 years. But at the moment, maybe I'm in such age when, for me, it's more interesting to talk about stuff what is, it's important for people. We're going to have a dating specialist who's going to talk about marriage and the keys to the marriage. It's also a topic about getting better, in some ways.
Yeah, of course.
The leadership, ego thing. It's all about getting better. We're going to have lots of music stars, you name it. So every person has his own story about getting better.
True.
From some kind of his life, point where he was stuck or he was depressed or whatever happened. So you just have to get there and to make a story from that. That's it.
And how do you manage to make people share with you that point?
Because I don't know. Maybe they feel relaxed here. I don't know at this, podcast. But of course, it's it's a lot of preparation before. It's not like I just sit and talk to them about whatever. What I do is I watch every show where they've been. So I spend a lot of time watching what they talked about, what they were asked about. And of course, I read a lot of interviews. So I never ask the same questions. Maybe I ask not the same question, but I ask a question about their answer on the show. Let's say he told that now I believe in karma. Yeah, because he never believed. Okay, so why do you believe in karma right now? So talk about that. What happened? So you believed in karma if you never believed in that, yeah? And I will not ask, do you believe in karma? But I will go deeper. That's what I do on my show. Go deeper and never ask the same questions, what the question were asked before on TV or internet or articles.
Well, that's inspiring.
Yeah, but it takes a lot of time. So
yeah, I can imagine. I know what's preparation is.
When I started it was fun, but now we are on the 10th podcast, and now I have to spend like sometimes 6-8 hours just preparing and it's not like I just prepare and that's it. I just watch it, read it, put a lot of questions in the notes, then I sleep, and then I wake up another day. I also ask some people around, what would you ask this person? What would you ask this person? They give me ideas. And then I just sit and spend more 2-3 hours on the notes, reordering the questions, deleting, adding some stuff, and what helps to me, it's walking in the morning with my dog. When I walk with my dog in the morning, something happens, I just randomly get ideas and I just put it in the notes. And then after 2 days, I have a script, what we're going to talk about. And during the talk, there are more questions, and we skip some questions. So during the talk, it's more organic. But I have idea what I want to talk about, but it becomes more organic. So, so the preparation helps.
Of course, after you know all the context, a person feels somehow that you know.
Yes, because if he says something, I already know where he talked about that, his story, and so you have to prepare. If a person comes who wrote a book,
you
better read that book.
You
better read that book, because if he will come and you will know nothing about this book, so how you gonna make a good podcast? You have to read that book. So if he says something, you can get more into it and get deeper information about that. So the person who is a guest will feel better that you read it and that you know him and you know what he's talking about. He will feel more welcome and more friendly, and he will relax, So it's really important.
That's really great that you are investing so much time and energy, because it really interests you. And I'm sure that in this way, as you said, we should ask questions that are interesting for us personally. And then the audience will feel it because they feel this kind of energy. So for today, I think that I followed your advice, because for me it was a very interesting talk. Artūrai, I have one more thing to ask you. Now people and even children in school and kindergarten, they want to be a blogger. They want to create content. If you would start today, you didn't have anything, what would you start from, and what would be your advice?
Well, first of all, if you want to start something, just do it. Because if you're going to think that it's not a good time to start because what people will think about me, or I will not do that because it will not work out. Well, don't think that way, because first of all, there will going to be two sides: people who love it and people who hate it, even if you will do the best thing in the world. Also, there is nothing worse than waiting for something. If you want to start something, start it, because while you're gonna wait, somebody else will start and be the first one. So always, if you have an idea, try to do that. And of course, if you love it, then that's the best way. If you are doing that because somebody told you that it's a good idea, or you are just doing because people like it but you don't like it, in the end of the day, during that journey, you're gonna stop because you're gonna be tired, and you're just gonna fail, because it's not gonna be you. But what I would do, I have no idea. Well, what we do right now is also starting from the zero. We are creating our podcast, so it's also kind of the same. So just don't wait. Just do it.
Thank you, Artūrai. Thank you so much for coming and sharing.
Thank you for having me here.
And thank you, everyone, for watching Kama PR podcasts. Please don't forget to give this episode a like to support us. And please subscribe to our channel, because in this way, you will be the first one who will see the new interesting episodes with our dear guests. Thank you so much, and bye. See you next time.